Okay, next, let's talk about tools. Because I mean, why make something if you can't use some really cool looking tools to do it, am I right? Luckily, Premiere has its own collection of specialty tools that you can use to make fine cuts in your sequence. And if you don't see them, you can go up to the window menu and you can make sure that tools is checked. There are a lot of tools in Premiere, and we're gonna start with the most essential ones. These are the ones that you should practice and get really good at because they're gonna make you a fast editor and they're gonna save your social life. So I'm gonna show you these tools just through demonstration, so I'm just gonna start cutting up the sequence. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press FF, fast forward through these first couple clips and remind myself what they are. Okay, so these are a couple shots of us laying the blanket down, and I remember we're doing the same action in both of these, so we can't show both of them in full. I wanna kinda pick parts from each of them, and I think I wanna ping pong between them. I do like starting with the sky shot, but I don't think that I want the blanket to come in yet. So to fix this, I need the beginning of this clip to start earlier. Now, if I try to get that footage back by dragging back the beginning of the clip with the pointer tool that we're using right now, it's not going anywhere. So instead, I could just zoom all the way out on this sequence, select all these clips and then drag them over, zoom back in, and then drag the beginning of my clip back. And y'all, I am getting so exhausted. This just took forever. What we could do here is we could use this tool here called the Track Select Forward tool. So when we use that tool, it's gonna select this first clip that we click on, and then it's also selecting all of the clips afterward, which makes things really easy if we just want to scoot everything down. And now we can go in here and we can drag this back. Now the partner to the Track Select Forward tool is the Track Select Backward tool, and you can get to that by holding this down in the Tools panel. And what that's going to do is it's going to select this clip and then all of the clips back behind it to the left, and then you can move those around however you want. Back to our picnic sequence here though, there's actually an even easier way to do this, and that is the Ripple Edit tool. The Ripple Edit tool is right over here. Now, if you're not paying attention so far, then I want you to wake up because the Ripple Edit tool is a very important tool. Unlike the Selection tool, which is not going to let you drag a clip out past its edge if another clip is in the way, the Ripple Edit tool is gonna let you do that. You can drag out the edge of a clip and then all of the other clips are going to ripple and scoot over on your timeline. So I can drag out the beginning of a clip, I can drag out the end of a clip, I can drag in the beginning or in the end. The bottom line here, and give me some eye contact here because this is important, is the Ripple Edit tool is a gangster, and if you don't remember any of the other tools that I talk about in this lesson, then just remember that one because it's super important. And by the way, the shortcut for the Ripple Edit tool is B, and you can remember that by thinking of B for beast mode because this tool is going to put you in beast mode, okay? Okay, now that I've told you how obsessed I am with the Ripple Edit tool, let's zoom back in and use that baby. So we're gonna select our Ripple Edit tool, and then we're going to drag out the beginning of this shot so that when we play it back to this first marker, all we see is sky and the blanket has not come into the frame yet. All right, so now we're ready to make our first cut, and we want this cut to be right on that first beat. And so to make sure I'm on that beat, I'm going to click the Go to Previous Marker button, and then I'm going to press Shift-G, which is my shortcut, to make a cut super fast. All right, y'all, we have made the first cut in our video. Time for a little dance break. Okay, now I'm not done with this shot yet. I still think that there's something at the end of the shot I want when the blanket comes in, but for now, I want to cut to this shot. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click and drag it and hold down the Command key while I do that. Because remember, when you drag while holding the Command key, that inserts clips onto your timeline. And you'll see that it swapped those two clips, no gaps, super efficient. You could also copy this clip and then you could ripple delete it, pressing my custom keyboard shortcut for ripple delete, which is the X key. And then I'll go over here to the seam where I want to paste it, but instead of pressing Command V to paste it, we don't want to do that. That would just paste it over the existing clips. That's not what we want. Instead, we want to paste insert this clip. And to do that, we will go to the Edit menu and then we will select Paste Insert. And now it's inserted the clip that we copied earlier in our timeline at the playhead. And by the way, I use a custom shortcut for that, Shift-V, which reminds me of Command-V for paste, and that way I don't have to constantly go up into that menu. The other tool that I want to show you is the Rolling Edit tool. And instead of rippling the seam here, it's going to roll the seam across the timeline. So you're actually adjusting the edges of two clips at the same time with the Rolling Edit tool. Lastly, I want to tell you about duplicating and replacing in Premiere. So a really fast way to duplicate a clip on your timeline is to click on it and then hold down the Option key if you're on a Mac or the Alt key if you're on Windows while you drag to a new spot on your timeline. You can also use this same shortcut to replace clips while you're in the project panel. So let's say that instead of using this shot for this clip that I've got selected here on my timeline, I am considering using this footage that I've got here in my project panel. I could hold down the Option or the Alt key while dragging this new footage to the clip, and it will automatically replace the old footage. Now, let's look back at the clips that we've trimmed so far. I love it. This is the exciting part when you get to see everything come together in the fine cut. There is one thing that I want to change though, but before we do that, we are going to break for a triple P.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
All right, y'all, it is time for another practice pause point. And first, I want you to take a look at this young lady right here. Her name is Jalea, and she's not playing with y'all. She has practiced dribbling that ball until she's got such muscle memory that I bet she could do it in her sleep. And I want you to channel Jalea when you are practicing the tools that we just talked about in this lesson. So before you move on, I want you to start fine cutting your sequence using these ways listed on the screen. So make sure that you practice using the Track Select Forward tool, which is going to let you select a clip and then all of the other clips after it. Try out using my favorite tool, which is the Ripple Edit tool, and that's going to let you change the length of a clip, and it's going to automatically ripple all of the clips around it, which is going to save you so much time. It's going to put you in beast mode. So don't forget that shortcut is B for the Ripple Edit tool. Next, I want you to take that Roll and Edit tool for a spin and notice how it's going to let you move the location of a cut from left to right. I definitely want you to make sure you know how to drag insert clips by holding down the Command or the Control key. Try copying and paste inserting a clip on your timeline by using my custom keyboard shortcut Shift plus the V key, which is kind of like pasting with Command or Control plus V, except it's going to shift all the clips down. Then test out duplicating a clip by clicking on it and then holding the Option or the Alt key and then dragging it to a new spot on your timeline. And finally, test out that same shortcut but in the project panel and use it to replace footage for a clip you've got selected on your timeline. So before you go click and play on the next video, practice the things that are on screen. Make sure you test them out and you know how they work. And then as you keep using Premiere, I want you to commit yourself to mastering these tools and commands. Because I'm gonna tell you something, if you master these essential tools, plus the techniques that we talked about in the last lesson, the hover IO, click comma L, and then Q and W on the timeline, and then FF and SS to fast forward and fast rewind, then you'll have my entire cheat sheet of essential keyboard shortcuts in Premiere down. And that, in my opinion, is like 90% of being a fast editor. Anyway, practice these tools, practice the things listed on screen, and then come back and I will teach you some more.